Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, is hoping to rewrite the way India will access internet in times to come. On this episode of Life and Science with Pallav Bagla, we meet Dr. Neha Satak. They are working to ensure how 4G, 5G, and satellite-based internet can all be provided to the hinterland of India. A startup, stand-up India, powering the future of India. I'm at the grand old lady of Indian science, the most illustrious Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore. At the Indian Institute of Science, there is new blood and entrepreneurship which is being infused. And this infusion is happening to make sure that lab to land there is connectivity. On this episode of Life and Science with Pallav Bagla, it's all about understanding seamless internet. And to take us through, we have with us Dr. Neha Satak. Namaskar, Neha.
Namaskar.
Dr. Neha has a startup which has been incubated by this premier institute, and she works on satellite-based internet, terrestrial internet, 4G, 5G, and the futuristic technologies which go alongside with it. Dr. Neha packs in a lot of energy and punch in everything she does. Dr. Neha, you started your company almost 5 years ago. At that time, there wasn't much talk of Startup India, Stand-up India. How did you conceive of this?
So I think the first passion for startups and doing business for me, resonated when I was in the US. I was in US for 6 years between 2009 to 15. And there I had the opportunity to have two other startups, in the space industry that gave me the confidence that yes, first of all, I can do a startup. And second of all, that I love business. So I come from a business family, but I am a technologist at heart, and I sort of wanted to combine the two things, create a business which actually uses technology to do good.
So risk-taking comes naturally to you as a Marwadi?
Yeah, risk-taking definitely. I think doing deep tech startups in India or anywhere in the world is a big risk. You actually devote a lot of your time. You have to go literally crazy to make it work. So there is a certain amount of risk, and there is also a certain amount of passion that is required to do something like this. So we are very fortunate to have a team who also has the same kind of passion that we have.
So, very briefly, what does Astrom do? And then we will go and see and talk about that in detail, very briefly.
So Astrom as a company exists to solve the connectivity problem of the world. And we do that by our innovative technology. We develop very cool wireless communication technology which works in very high frequency bands to bring out products that can reduce cost of network deployment, basically your 4G deployment, your 5G deployment, your rural broadband deployment, and also satellite communication networks. So we are all about technology. How can we utilize technology, create new technologies to reduce the cost of internet access around the world.
Before we go in and see your laboratory, your facility, tell me a little bit about your background. I heard you come from a small town and Now you are dreaming big to make India seamlessly connected. Tell me.
Yes, I think when I was growing up, most of the people in my community were either into business or they did finance, and there were very few people who actually went into science or technology. The future of economy is all about technology. Technology is what is going to make money. Technology is what is going to change the world. That small town where I come from,
Which is that?
that's Biawar in Rajasthan.
Which district is that?
That's Ajmer district. So I'm sure all of you have heard about Ajmer and Pushkar. But I would say in the last 10 years, a lot of change has happened in that small town, mainly again because of technology.
So you have the blessings of the Khwaja on you to give India the internet you desire?
Yes, absolutely. And also the only Brahma temple in Pushkar.
That is true. The only temple of Brahma which exists in Pushkar.
Yes.
So like Brahma created the world, you are creating new internet ways for India?
I hope so. We try to do that at Astrom. So.
Let's now go inside the cool laboratory of Dr. Neha and see and talk about the different technologies she is working on. Let's go. We are now inside the facility where Dr. Neha Satak's Astrom is working on some of the futuristic technologies around the internet. Dr. Neha, a fascinating lab. What can we see here?
Yes. So this is our prototyping lab. This is where we actually test our millimeter wave technology. We do a lot of electronics, bring up. We test the equipment here on this bench, and then we take it outside for outside testing, so outdoor testing.
What is millimeter wave? Because people have heard of different kinds of waves, but what is millimeter wave?
Yes. So millimeter wave, you would have heard a lot in the context of 5G, and you will also start hearing a lot more of that in the context of satellite communication. Millimeter wave is basically frequencies above 30 gigahertz. So anything from 30 gigahertz to about 100 gigahertz is what is being looked upon as the future frequency in which technology is going to be built, and internet networks both from space and on ground are going to be deployed in those frequencies.
So do we already use, because what frequencies do I use when I use direct to home television, or when I see Tata Sky or Dish TV or Doordarshan Dish? What frequencies are we using?
Yes, so today we use something lower than 20 gigahertz like KU band and other lower frequency bands. And the future, when you're going to also have internet coming from satellites, you're going to be using these millimeter wave frequencies. So millimeter wave can be a very good platform for us to connect rural India by creating the backbone, which is usually created by fiber through wireless millimeter wave equipment. So let me explain a little bit more. Today we see the absence of 4G and broadband internet, in the end parts of India.
Last mile mein nahi hai.
Last mile, exactly. And that last mile is missing mainly because fiber is very expensive to deploy, or it is very, very time consuming to deploy. So if we replace that fiber with basically wireless millimeter wave equipment, which is very, very quick to deploy, can be deployed in a couple of days. The cost of it is 1/6 to 1/10 of fiber.
Which is optical fiber.
Which is optical fiber. So it can be really, really quick, to deploy, and it can be, a boost to bringing that connectivity to rural India.
But why are we not doing it now? Why are we waiting?
Yes, so one of the things is that technology. The technology needs to mature and develop to a point where it is cost effective, and it is also, can be produced at a mass level, to cover a country like India. And so that's what Astrom has been working on the last 5 years. We've been very focused on how to make this technology grow from lab to something commercial, which can be deployed and connect India.
You started off by being a company which was going to make satellites and satellite-based internet. Is that still happening, or how is it maturing?
Yes, so it is happening in a different way. So let me tell you that as a company, we wanted to connect people. And that was the main premise of starting the company, and space is a tool to make that happen. So I talked about how we can connect rural areas with radios which work in millimeter wave, but sometimes those areas are much farther away from fiber. So you need satellite connectivity to basically connect your towers, also provide broadband to your homes. And so to make that happen, Astrom develops technology which goes into the satellite and also on your rooftop and on the tower. So it's communication technology which goes on the satellite as well as on your rooftop. What we are doing in that domain is we are bringing in new kind of technology which can make it much more affordable for satellite connectivity to be delivered to developing countries.
Your plan is to look at satellites and also look at terrestrial systems?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because the common thread between the two is actually the millimeter wave technology.
Whatever you are developing here and happening behind us would work on transponders on satellites and on towers on the ground. Is that what I understand?
That's absolutely right, and that's the whole vision, of Astrom. How do you actually merge the terrestrial network with satellite networks so that you can have seamless connectivity over land, ocean, and air?
How many other companies like you are doing this work in the world?
We have different companies doing different parts of it. So, for example, you have big companies like OneWeb and Starlink who are basically deploying satellite connectivity. Then there are companies who are the traditional telecom OEMs who basically deploy only terrestrial radios. So, we are probably uniquely placed in terms of doing both. And especially in India, millimeter wave frequencies, we are the innovators who are working in these kind of frequency bands and bringing out products in these bands.
One product which I saw from your writings is something called GigaMesh. Tell me a
Yes.
little bit about GigaMesh.
Yes. So GigaMesh, you can imagine that to be a wireless fiber. So it's basically a radio. It's like a box which gets deployed on a tower, and it connects the fiber which is available in big cities and towns to the rural areas. So it is as if you have laid fiber between the town and village, but actually it is a wireless fiber. So you just deploy one radio at the town, one radio at the village, and your village now has the backbone. And on that backbone, telecom operators, broadband service providers can then use that backbone to deliver 4G services, in the future 5G, and also rural broadband.
So, holistic solution.
Yes,
And what is SpaceNet? That's also something which I.
yes, yes. So SpaceNet is when we utilize, the same technology what we have developed, the core technology of GigaMesh, to actually power low Earth orbit satellites. So these are satellites which are very close to ground, and they are the future of delivering broadband internet, and also connecting your towers which are present in the villages. So we SpaceNet is basically a network of LEO constellation powered by our technology, and that network will be deployed by our partners.
Is that what is GigaSat? Or is this different?
GigaSat is a bit different.
Oh
So GigaSat, so let me explain the evolution of our technology. GigaMesh is the first product that connects fiber to villages. GigaSat is our second product, which basically helps connect telecom towers and homes to the existing satellites, the existing geo satellites, existing LEO satellites. So, for example, the first prototype of GigaSat is going to communicate with GSAT satellites.
And And all of this is proprietary to Astrom, this work and this technology, etc.?
Yes, yes. So, as technologists, me and my co founder, both of us are technologists. One of the things that we bring to the table is innovative technology. So, all of the technology that is powering all of our products is actually patented by Astrom in India and also outside India.
But once you patent, it becomes public. People can read through the patent and make out. Does that happen?
Yes, so one has to be careful in what you patent and what you don't patent. So, that's
Meaning you have some commercial secrecy involved and some which is patented.
absolutely.
And how do you protect this? Only through patents, or is there other ways of protecting your technology?
So I think one of the best way to protect your technology or your company is to keep innovating, and that is the best means of always being ahead, of the curve. So that's what we try to do.
For all of what Dr. Neha Satak and her team are doing, there needs a enabling environment of policies and law. Let's step out and talk of some of the new space and internet-based policies which are going to affect startups like Astrom. We saw the technologies which are being developed by Astrom. Let's now talk about the big picture and the policy initiatives by India which will empower startups like Dr. Neha Satak's. Dr. Neha, you started a startup when the policy environment was different. There is a new thrust on startups, especially on space, and you work on that interface. Is this new thrust something which gives you confidence?
Yes, it is becoming more so. There is a draft satellite communication policy which is right now being worked upon by the Indian government. Indian government has formulated this organization called InSpace E, which is going to be the main regulator for everything to do with space. And we've had several rounds of discussion with InSpace E, giving them our inputs, about the policy. And so it looks really, really positive. And I think these kind of policies, which will come out very soon, will enable not just Indian startup but also the Indian, big industry to get into space tech in a very, very serious way.
So the policy environment is becoming favorable to companies like you?
Absolutely. The environment is becoming more and more supportive of also startups. That is very important. How to enable them to actually be a competitive player on the world stage. Because space is not country specific, it is actually worldwide. And all of the policies which are coming out will create a clear regulatory environment for a startup or for a big company also to plan out their business plan, which is very important.
Now, see, you work on the fringes of space, you work on the fringe of 5G, 4G, but as far as the space environment goes, and I'm talking of space technology, are startups ready to take the risk?
Absolutely. I think startups are the best, type of organizations to actually take risk, to create something very different and actually to commercialize it, because they have the vision, they have the thrust to bring something new into the ecosystem.
Now, within that, Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself has been pushing a lot of change in the space technology environment, and he's been pushing very hard that the Indian Space Research Organization, which delivered well, but needs to become a new entity altogether. How does this all fit in to the broader picture of companies like yours and for the future?
Yes, I think one of the positive things that have happened is the formulation of a separate entity which is called InSpace E, which is going to be actually the almost like the bridge between the private space sector and the government. And they are taking on a lot of roles which were traditionally distributed between ISRO, between so many departments, that it was becoming extremely difficult. It was very difficult to get through,
No, the
all of
regulatory
this.
environment was very difficult. I believe you had to take multiple ministry, multiple permissions. So will in space help something like yours? You're working from satellites to optical fiber with frequencies and all of that. Will that help?
Absolutely, absolutely. So basically, InSpace E, we hope would become the one-stop, single window, the way they call it in the government, representative to give permissions to companies like us, and also to enable companies like us to actually grow, scale, and also become a world player.
One big hindrance, which many startups tell me, is the lack of a space law. Is that affecting your growth and development?
Space Activities Bill, which has been in draft format since 2017, is something that is definitely something which needs to come out. But I would say more than that policy, the SATCOM policy, the satellite communication policy that I just talked about, the draft of which is under review, is more important to somebody like us.
Now, for a company like yours, while you're housed in the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, do you get enough trained people?
So that's a very good question. I think one of the positive things about our country is that we have a lot of youth, and we have extremely intelligent and extremely forward looking individuals. Astrom is built by these young minds. And today also, we don't really care about how old are you, how trained are you. We just want you to be smart, and you can scale up pretty much very very fast in our company. Our strategy has been to have very young people who are really smart join our company and scale with us.
Now, as a company, as a startup which has been around for some years, what more would you want from the government to make you become like Tesla?
I think one of the enabling thing, there are two enabling things when you look at the West, right? One is public funding for testing new technologies, and you see that common thread between between Europe and US, and that's kind of a common thread which is possibly not so much there when it comes to space technology in India. That's the first thing. The second thing is that one needs anchor customers to emerge out of the ecosystem for startups to grow further. And that anchor customer can be government, or it can be even big private sector. So we need to have a positive environment where people are rewarded for being an anchor customer to deep tech startup or a space technology startup. And that's kind of something that the government can help facilitate. So these two.
Now, you are still very young. What is your dream from Astrom and for India?
So my dream for Astrom is to build a really, really innovative and strong technology company from India, but for the world. And using that technology, we want to enable internet everywhere. And that has been a common theme in all of our products, in everything we do. So we want to see a world where internet is accessible by everybody, no matter where they are, and internet is used for bringing about change, and that change goes on so many different levels. It's not just economic change, but also a change in how our society functions. More opportunities for girls, which is something that is very dear to my heart. I want to see more girls getting educated. They should have the opportunity, and they should know about the opportunities that are there around the world for them to go and grab. From money to society, all of this change will happen because of information, because of what internet brings to people's life.
Thanks a lot for speaking to us, Dr. Neha. We wish you and Astrom Technologies success in the future, and may your dreams come true.
Thank you so much.
A small town girl dreams big for India, bringing seamless internet from satellites to terrestrial systems through optical fiber using millimeter waves. Futuristic technology being worked in India's pioneering institution through startups. Keep watching India Science.